Aw, thanks, honey. So I am out here right now picking the very last of our daffodils for the season. It is like the week leading up to Mother's Day. We have a ton going on. I'm trying to get as many flowers off as humanly possible to prepare for what is going to be one of our biggest Mother's Days yet. We have crates and crates of tulips ready to go in the cooler. We have buckets of narcissus, so daffodils, and crates of hyacinths. Our farm flowers are looking so good, and the ranunculus and anemones are also just getting started. So follow along for today's video. I'm excited to have you with us. The stem length on some of these daffs is just wild. Look at these guys. Like, they don't even fit in the whole frame. So, if you're like us and when you're harvesting tulips, you get some that like detach from the bulb. We keep water at the farm, usually just fill up a bucket and then put the loose ones in here. They'll go directly into the cooler like this and they will be fine. And they will rehydrate so that they're not feeling really droopy. They'll keep growing because as tulips do, but this way we're not seeing any of our stems go to waste. Okay, so it is also eviction day for a whole bunch of our seedlings because I have to get the next succession of a bunch of zinnias and cosmos done. But in order to do that, I need to move a whole bunch of these out into the hoop house and the greenhouse because one thing we are very short on this year is bottom trays that don't have holes in them, because we do everything bottom watered down in the grow room. I need to make sure the water doesn't just go at the bottom. So we're gonna move a whole bunch of them over, bring a whole bunch of stuff out into the greenhouse to start acclimating so that they can go into the ground in the next 2 weeks. And let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be potted up and moved over. So we're gonna get started on that. Most of the first succession of like our zinnias and our asters, our cosmos, and some of our Dara and our Queen Anne's lace out here in the hoop house. So they're going to spend the next 7 days or so acclimating, and then hopefully after Mother's Day those are going to go out into the field. And as well, after Mother's Day, we're going to start planting the dahlia field as well, which is very exciting. There's about 7,000 plus dahlias going in the ground this year. But first and foremost, had to get all of that cleared out because we are going to be starting our second succession of zinnias, our second succession of cosmos, our second succession of celosia, and our second succession of asters this week in the evenings and going into next week. And so I needed all of that space in the grow room to get all of these things out of there so that we can keep going for the farm, right? Because now that we've been doing this a couple years, we're starting to get into the zone of like understanding when we need to have our next successions planted to keep that crop going until frost. And for the last 3 years, our frost has consistently been October, kind of middle to end of October. The hard frost was really late last year, and so we ended up actually having a lot of like cosmos and dahlias all the way until the end of October. So hopefully this year, because we've planned for this, we'll be able to see the fruits of our labor go further into the season. The other thing that needs to be planted next week is our first row successions of sunflowers. So those are ready to go into the ground as well. Faith is joining us this year. She's our new McKenna, meaning she gets to do all the fun grunt work. So how many tulips have you processed today, Faith?
I don't know. Take a peek.
I think it's been a lot of tulips. Faith. Wave at the camera. Wave at me. So one of the things we're doing this year is actually getting a lot of flowers out to another local flower shop. We don't have the same delivery radius, so it actually works out really well, but we're still quite local to each other. So we are able to grow specifically for them, and that's really exciting. So there's a whole bunch of flowers headed off to Robin, and yeah, this day leading up to Mother's Day. A few days later. So we are now at the Monday after Mother's Day. I had full intentions of posting a bunch of time-lapse videos of the insanity that was this past weekend, but I did not have the time. So we had one of the busiest Mother's Day sales weekends I've ever experienced in my life, and altogether between our pre-orders and our in-store shopping, we did almost $17,000 in Mother's Day flower sales, which is an absolutely astronomical number, right? And that's the gross sales, so that's not our net sales, and obviously, like, once we've taken expenses and everything out of that, it's less. But it was beyond what I was expecting, and we couldn't keep up with all of the orders that were going out over the course of those Friday, Saturday. And so I took absolutely no video, but Caitlin, bless her heart, did actually manage to take some photos of several of the arrangements that she did. And so from our farm, personally, the flowers that we were sending out as part of the arrangements are hyacinths, our tulips, our daffodils, our crabapple branches, some of our anemones, and also some of our ranunculus. And so in some of these photos, you can see those. And obviously, because we are also a full flower studio, we have roses and carnations and stalks and snapdragons and all the things that we don't grow ourselves and don't grow in our climate. But I was absolutely blown away by the support of our community this past Mother's Day. And so now that we're past that, we can look forward and continue with the farm work and keep getting things planted and pre-sprouted, and all sorts of stuff is going on because it is the middle of May. And one of the things I wasn't expecting is how far behind we would be on farm work because the shop has been so busy. So while I'm thankful for that, I'm also panicking a little bit because it kind of feels like I don't have my things together this year, and I don't like that very much. Okay, so it is the Tuesday now after Mother's Day. We are trying to save the neglected and stressed out seedlings. So right now I am uppotting our second succession. So the first succession of straw flower has already gone out to the farm. I am potting up our second succession of straw flower. They're not, oh, you can't even see this. They're very not happy. They're a little root bound and they need to go into bigger trays. So that is what I am currently working on doing. Faith is behind me in the corner. She's filling trays up with dirt and I am potting them up. So one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of our soil blocked starts is, first of all, had I not opened a shop the week before Easter, I probably would have been able to stay on top of getting these transplanted into the larger soil blocks on time. But because these are root bound and because the plants are little and they're just stressed out, we're uppotting them just into, you know, our 4 cell trays that you like get from the garden center. These are going to go outside for about 2 weeks into our greenhouse before they then get planted in at the old drive plot this year. We are growing close to 3,000 straw flowers this year, and the reason for that is because dried flowers, for some reason, has been one of our best selling random products at the store. We're really not sure why, but because of that, I need to grow a lot more for dried flowers. And yeah, so that's what I'm working on today. And we have a lot of seedlings to save. I've gotten halfway through Dara as well, and then I still have to up-pot a whole bunch of Status and Gomphrena. So our goal today is to get most of that done. It is the Tuesday after Mother's Day, and like I said, we've been so busy. Normally on Tuesdays we're open at the store, but because we were open Sunday for Mother's Day, I decided to close to give us kind of a chance to catch up. So here we go. Lots of up-potting. Now burlap is our kind of shade cloth solution. So we'll put this over so that our outdoor planted ranunculus has a little bit of relief from the heat. And as we do hoops, we use our binder clips to just secure that into place. Okay, so lastly for today's video, I'm just out here in the hoop house where the ranunculus are finally getting the most beautiful buds I think I've ever seen. And so the ones that we have in the hoop house here are the varieties, the Elegance series varieties that we ordered from Unicorn Blooms. And I think that next year, well, I know actually that next year we are just going to be sticking to the Unicorn Blooms ranunculus corms. Venort corms are okay. They are definitely smaller, and for us now in the position that we are in, I just wanted to really focus our investment into next year on the corms that I know are going to produce the most and the best ranunculus for my customers. And those I think are going to be the Elegance series. And the first time we did actually order in cloney ranunculus for next year as well. So I'm pumped for that because I've never grown the clonies before. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. But it's looking really good in here. We did a harvest on these this morning, and so I'm gonna actually come out tomorrow morning again and pick again and bring those to the shop for the customers, because our opening market of the season already starts this weekend as well. So the timing of everything could not be better, between how successful Mother's Day was and moving into our summer season so quickly. I'm excited about where things are for the farm, and I think we're in for a really good season. And now that I spent an entire day today bumping up a whole bunch of seedlings, I'm feeling better about how things are looking as well, because that was a lot. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.